Hello, welcome to this video. Today I show you what the upper toolbar of the Emalytics preclinical software is good for. Therefore I will open the software first, and you can find the upper toolbar here. It's under the menu item toolbar and over the mouse settings toolbar. So the first button here says load settings and segmentation from a project file. So I will open a project, a PetSpec-CT dataset. And next one is save your project file. And the next button is close the current project. And we have another video under tutorials, general project file. And this video explains all the advantages of saving your image data or image analysis as a project file. So I will not explain it in this video in detail. The next one is we are having two drop-down boxes here for the input class and for the output class. And you can select different classes, for example, organs in our case, like the heart or the kidneys. And when I right-click somewhere, for example here in the liver, this class will be set automatically as input class. And for a lot of segmentation operations, it's important what kind of class you have selected as input class and output class, because they work only on the input class. So when I perform, for example, a morphologic dilation operation with 5, only the liver will be dilated. When I now perform a erosion operation, only the liver shrinks, not the other organs. When I go to the kidneys and perform it again, with 3 for example, only the kidneys are changed. So always keep in mind what is your input class and output class, and there's also another video about it, under general input-output class show video, explaining the input and output classes a little bit more in detail. The next button of the upper toolbar is this plus, and it adds a new class, for example A, and this newly generated class is automatically set as output class. Then we have the button here, it's undo, so you can undo the last 20 image and segmentation operations. So for example now I deleted the newly generated class A. Next the kidneys are changed, and now my liver is changed. You can also redo segmentations or operations you undid. Yeah. So the software is very useful or smart, because like you can try something out and just undo it if it wasn't the right operation. So as I mentioned, this undo and redo works not only on the segmentation operations but also on the image operations. For example, when you perform a filtering or smoothing under edit, filtering, Gauss filter with 1. Now the image gets a little bit blurry, and I can also undo this. Okay. The next we have 3 buttons to toggle the axial, coronal and sagittal slice view. And you can open them independently from each other. It depends on your analysis what you need. So I usually work with the axial slice view and the 3D rendering. Here you can toggle the 3D rendering. And as you see, there is a special menu item for the 3D rendering. You can also find it here under 3D rendering, but it's also here. And you can, for example, set the background color to white, but I will go back to black. Okay, perfect. The next one is for the linear interpolation. And when you inactivate it, and when we zoom in a little bit, you can see that you can see the voxels. And usually we recommend to activate it, because then the image is more smooth. Next one toggles the symbolic rendering. So now what you can see here is my red crosshair. And I can also place some markers. They will be shown here under symbolic rendering, and when I turn them off, there will be no crosshair, no markers. I can also show the word coordinate system here in 3D, or the bounding boxes for the underlay and overlay. But for the rest of the video, I will just turn off the symbolic rendering. Okay. The next one is for the segmentation. You can turn the segmentation on or off. You can also hide single classes, for example, the heart and in the liver now. But let me show them again. The next one is to toggle the selected layer in 2D and 3D. So now I turn off the underlay or CT scan, but you can still see the segmentation and the overlay. And when I go to the overlay, here, I can turn it off and on. Okay, this one is the windowing. It changes the windowing settings of the underlay of the selected layer. I can also change it for the overlay, but then I have to select the overlay as selected layer. And everything above the center value is visible. So you can use also the center value as a threshold for some segmentations. For example, when you want to find a good threshold for the bones. But the windowing is also explained here under the mouse mode windowing and then under play tutorial video. So if you have more questions, just watch the video about the windowing. Next one is to change the channel. Now for the underlay, we only have the CT scan, so we have only one channel, but when I go to the overlay, you see we have channel 1 out of 3, and this is FTG. It's the red tracer here in the heart, for example. I can go to the next channel, it's iodine. It's green here, for example, in the thyroid. And the next channel is technetium. And technetium accumulates in bones and in the liver. And with this I can go back and to the other channels, to the next channel, and yeah. Finally, the last button is to show tutorials. So we have an example data set and a video for every tutorial. And the example data set, it's the same as it is used in the video, so you can practice with the same example data set. You can get also some information about the tutorial or the data set, and a lot of tutorials come with a white paper, and in the white paper you can get some additional information. That's all about the ABBA toolbar for now. I hope it helped. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.